Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we're doing a travel vlog and today we're going to discuss Baku, Azerbaijan. So I went to Baku in 2018, it was like April of 2018, and then later on I went back in 2019 with my family because I really liked the place and I really wanted them to also see the architecture and the culture of Azerbaijan. So yeah, let's get started. Now, Baku, Azerbaijan is located in the southwestern Asia, in the Caucasus Mountains to the north. And Azerbaijan historically is basically it means a larger area occupied by the Persia, which is Iran, and it is bordered by the Caspian Sea to the east, Armenia on the west, Iran to the south, and Georgia and Russia to the north. Now, Baku, Azerbaijan's population is 2,401,000, which is Baku's currency is Azerbaijani Mannat, which is Azri Mannat, 167 PKR, which is Pakistani rupee. Now, the central bank of Azerbaijan is the issuer of the currency of the country. Now, who are the Azerbaijani people? So basically, they are mostly the religion of practiced over there is they're Shia Muslims, and they are actually an ancestry that dates back to the Caucasian, the Iranian, and as well as the Turkic part. So basically, the language Azerbaijan, Azeri language, is actually a dialect mixed with Turkish and Persian. They also speak, majority of the people in Azerbaijan also speak Russian. There's a lot of Russian influence and a lot of Russian tourists come to this part of because they can speak the same language and it's very close from Georgia and Russia. Now the education system is quite good in Azerbaijan. There are lots of universities over there. There's Baku State University as well, and the engineering and arts, architecture universities. Also, in some universities, English is widely spoken and taught, as well as French and Russian, of course. Now, if we talk about the monthly average salary of an Azerbaijani person, it's around $500, so it's not much. But if you are part of the oil sector, oil industry and the government sector, then you get paid really well. There's also like the high-end class, so the status is quite visible with the amount of the cars around. You will see a lot of Mercedes and really expensive cars loitering around the city, and you will see people wearing high-end designer bags and shoes. So there is a lot of influence of people who are doing very well there. Now, since Azerbaijan is a modern city, so even though there are Shia Muslims, there is a lot of nightlife there. There are lots of clubs there, and there's live music in most of the restaurants and cafes. And you will also see most of the people are dressed up in a very English way. They wear jeans, t-shirts, they wear dresses, and but it is a little bit Islamic as well. I mean, you can't like publicly kiss in Azerbaijan, in Baku especially, and in other cities they are in that way conservative, but you can hold hands, but it's also very strict, because I visited Baku in 2018 and I noticed that you can't break the traffic signals, you can't just loiter around. There are certain places where you're not allowed to cross the streets, and you can't throw trash on the ground. It's very clean. So I think the police is quite strict, so the criminal activity it's quite low there, and because there's not much population either, the tourists are quite safe over there. Now, my favorite part of Baku is the old city, where actually the first time I visited, I had a hotel in the old city of Baku. Now, as soon as you enter the old, and I am a history lover, so I love historical buildings and narrow pebbled streets, and then you will see you will also see police station there, and you will also see small little shops there. And so I love like loitering around, roaming around and exploring the city, and this is the perfect place to explore because you can just walk around the whole old city of Baku and you can see the shops, you can see the architectural buildings. There's also Maiden Tower located there. There's a Shivan Shah Palace there, and you can see a lot of influence of very old architecture there. You can walk through, and lots of restaurants and cafes where you can have food. So it's a very lively place to get a hotel. Let's talk about the old city. Now the old city, the Shrivanshah Palace, which is absolutely wonderful, and you just enter the place. It's like a museum, and you feel like you are in some kind of cave where you're exploring different rooms, and so it's one of those UNESCO World Heritage Site. As soon as you enter all these historical places, like whether it's Maiden Tower, Shrivanshah Palace, you can get a lot of souvenirs. So the small compact mirror, to touch upon your powder or your lipstick, and I love it because look at that, like look how beautiful it is. It's absolutely gorgeous, and I've kept it like this. I keep it fridge magnets and small little souvenirs and keychains and little statues of the historical places in Baku. There's another place worth mentioning is the Museum of Miniature Books. So I'm a book lover, and I also write like movie reviews and book reviews, right? So I feel like this place is worth getting. It's very different. It's also like one of those places which is like estimated to have the largest collection of miniature books. Now when I say miniature, they're really tiny books, and I will show you in the picture as well. And it's a very interesting place, and it's in the old city. You just go inside and you see all these beautiful things, beautiful little books, and it's a different sight to see. So apart from that, now my favorite place in the old city is just roaming around and shops where you can buy Azerbaijani cultural traditional hats and jewelry, and you can also buy rugs and little the rugs are beautiful because Azerbaijan is also a place known for carpet making. We will talk about this amazing carpet museum later. And so you have their own carpet weaving technique. We talk about the Nizami Street. Nizami Street is a very popular street with fountains and restaurants and nightclubs, and you get to see it's like basically the entertainment hub of Baku, and you get to walk around at night. Now the weather in Baku, I forgot to mention weather. Weather is amazing. It's very cold and windy at night. So if you are like visiting around September, October, November, it was actually going to be very cold. In fact, I went in March the first time in 2018, and it was actually quite cold and windy that day. Like for me, for a person visiting from a very warm and humid country, I felt it was extremely cold. Of course, at night, it's beautiful in Nizami Street. You have lots of restaurants and lots of places to see. It's very lit up. The picture of the Nizami Street is also beautiful. It dates back to like 18th century or something. And the architecture is gorgeous. It's like these ancient buildings, they're all lit up, and there are these lamp posts around, and there are lots of shops where you can shop from. We have to talk about the Baku Azerbaijani cuisine because I love food, and the most important thing that you know is that their culture is very different. They do have those kebabs, but the Azeri kebabs are a little bit different from the Turkish kebabs. So Azeri food is a little bit non-spicy. They do use sumac. So the meat is very different, the taste is different. They have the pulao, which this is the meat with rice. So then we have this pitti, which is lamb and chickpea soup. So we have dolma, which is like stuffed grape leaves, and then we have levangi, which is like another meat dish. So the food is extremely meaty and lovely and delicious, and you have to try it out because if you are in a different country, I feel that you should always try out their amazing cuisines. That's what I did in Turkey, and that's what I did in Baku as well. But talk about some very important places that most of the people do visit when they are in Baku. Now the first one is the Haider Alaviv Center. Haider Alaviv Center, neatly shaped building. It's a very fluid shaped building with like zero sharp angles. The entry is around 15 Azerbaijani minat, which is not much. And this place is like their hub. Like there's a huge museum over there. It's also a cultural center. Lots of exhibitions take place, as well as lots of the Azerbaijani cultural programs take place inside the Haider Alaviv Center. The most important thing is the building shape, which is so unique and beautiful. It's so gorgeous that you can see it from far away, and when you see the building, you just want to visit and you want to find out what's going on inside. So that is one of the most iconic places of Baku. The second is for me it was actually the flame towers. I love watching flame towers. Now you can see the flame towers from every center of Baku, right? Literally, because they're so huge and they are shaped in such a way that you can actually view them from many places. But the Highland Park is like the place where you can actually see the view very well, and you get that panoramic view of 360-degree view of the city as well as the flame towers. And at night, you know, it's very lit up, and there are different colors of the flag, in Azerbaijani flag, and it looks very gorgeous at night. In the daytime also it looks lovely. You can take lots of pictures by going to that Highland Park. And yeah, so another thing that I really love is the carpet museum. There's a huge carpet museum in Baku. It has like the world's largest collection of Azerbaijani carpets, and how the carpets are weaved and made over there. You get to learn the history. It was formed in 1967, and there's a lot to see. Like the world's largest collection there. You get to see so many different designs of carpets, and then you also see there's a lots of jewelry that you get to see as well. So I would suggest definitely going there, because it's a very different, unique scene. And I always thought that Turkey was famous for carpets, but actually Azerbaijan is also one of those places very famous. They're very different designs they have their own carpet weaving style, you know. So this is a must see. And another place that you must see, October. And so we took a tour, like it's a daytime tour, and then basically they take you to 4 or 5 places, the famous places close to Baku, but like a distance from the city. And there's one place which is very famous, is Yanardağ, which is like basically known as the burning mountain. And it's amazing because there's fire. You get to see the fire literally coming out of the mountain, and it's an amazing place to see, and the most photographed place in Baku as well. Then there's also Ateshka. Now, Ateshka dates back to the Zoroastrian religion, and lots of Zoroastrian influence there. You get to see their culture, their traditions. You get to see some ancient artifacts there, and you can also take lots of pictures over there. We also saw like a space museum, and then also take another tour over there, which is like a night tour where they take you to the Highland Park to see the flame towers and panoramic view of the city. And that's another beautiful thing that you can do if you have time, and it doesn't take that long. I think it takes about 1.5 hours. They will take you there, and there's a group of people, and then you get to take lots of pictures and enjoy the view. Shirvanshah Palace is also unique because it has a restaurant. So if you want to eat like Turkey, like Azerbaijani cuisine, you can go to this palace, and there's a restaurant over there. You can order food over there. They have very traditional palau and, you know, all of the other dishes. So okay, so the most important thing that people will ask me now is like, what about the clubs and what about the nightlife? Well, the drinking is allowed in Azerbaijan, even though it's a Muslim country, and you can buy drinks from the grocery store as well. Now, the drinks are available everywhere. Even if it's Ramzan, you can still drink. So if you're a tourist, if you are like non-Muslim and you are visiting Baku, you don't have to worry about it in Ramzan. You can still drink and go to the clubs. Now the club, a club where there was like karaoke night happening, and you can have like, you can book your own suite, and you can like, you know, with your friends, and you can have order cocktails over there and have your own personal karaoke night. So we did that. It was open late night on a Saturday. It was like open till like 4 a.m. So Baku can be quite happening. You have to just know the right places to see. Lots of clubs in one area. A lot of Arabic influence. Some clubs play a lot of Arabic music. Some clubs only English, and some clubs are like they're also playing Russian music, because a lot of Russians they do visit Azerbaijan because it's so close by. A lot of people come from Georgia as well. Especially during the summer vacations. If you are like visiting Baku around June, July, you will see a lot of students over there as well. And lots of girls, like lots of girl students. Like in my hotel, the one I was living in, there were lots of Russian girls. They were probably around 19, 20, and they were staying there, and they had come alone actually. Now the most important thing that I missed in food is the Azerbaijani Baku breakfast, and it's amazing because the cheese and the butter is so fresh. It's made there, and like the honey is really good. It's very natural and organic. Just have the breakfast, the Azerbaijani style breakfast, and you will love it. Now the most important and amazing thing about Azerbaijan is that it is not as crowded as other cities. Now they do have, the transport system is quite alright. They have the taxi system, which is also, they have those unique yellow taxis which are actually quite expensive, and I think London and Azerbaijan, like Baku, is the only 2 places in the world which has those yellow taxis, those, you know, those 1950 cabs, but they charge a lot more, so you can use an Uber if you want. Now they do have other transport systems, like, you know, you have the buses system, and they also have the funicular system as well. but they also have the metro. Now it's just walking around, because if you are living in the right area, you don't really need transport in Baku. You just need to basically walk around. Of course, if you're taking like touristy places and going to clubs, you have to like definitely take a cab. But if you're like just staying in Nizami Street or staying near like the old city Baku, you can just walk around and see everything. And you will also see a lot of influence of European brands. So there's lots of expensive branded shopping that you can do over there. And in fact, you can also buy their own Azerbaijani clothing as well. Now there's also a place in Old City Baku which I actually found, where you can get like a copy, a fraction of the price, and that copy is so good. So that's the bag I got from Baku, and it says YSL, right? It has like a nice cover as well, and once you open it, the bag is gorgeous. Do you see that? Now I got it like in 2018, it's 2023 right now, and I still have it in mint condition. And now one more place worth mentioning is the Baku Boulevard. Baku Boulevard has these malls. It has a huge mall, and I visited that place. It has Baku Eye, so I really wanted to take like a trip in that, you know, glass elevator. And so you will get to see that 360-degree wheel circling around, where you get to see the view of Baku city. So you must visit this place around the daytime. So try to go like around before 6 or 6:30 p.m. because it closes after that. And it's actually quite cheap. It's only 5 manat. Like at that time when I went, it was only 5 manat, and you get to see an amazing view of the city. And the mall next door to that Baku Boulevard area, it's an amazing park. Like it's like a long walk, and it's like right next to the sea. So, and it's like full of like these amazing flowers from all around the world, lots of trees, and a lot of people are jogging and walking and cycling over there. So it's an amazing place to see. And you can also take a train ride. There's a train ride over there as well. It's a very nice mall as well. You get to shop, lots of branded shops and lots of stuff that you can get there. It's also restaurants where you can also eat. So we ended up actually eating, I think, in a Chinese restaurant, and you had like Japanese cuisine, Korean cuisine. Now I have to mention that the movie cinemas were playing Russian movies, and they were playing Turkish movies, but they were not playing any English at that time. So it was very difficult for us to watch a movie because, of course, you need to watch something, you know, in English, you know. And so yeah, and so that completed my trip. If you want to know anything more about Baku, then I will link certain links down below. So one very important thing worth mentioning is that Azerbaijan is actually 3 hours away from Dubai. So if you take a flight from Dubai, you will reach Baku in 3 hours. And Baku is also famous for Formula One racing. So when I went in 2018, there was Formula One racing going on at that time. They had tracks over there. I think it wasn't a city where it was very, very touristy like a couple of years ago. About like 7-8 years ago, you would have never heard of Baku, Azerbaijan. But today, a lot of people have been visiting. You see a lot of people from Pakistan, India, from Russia, from different countries, even US now. A lot of people are visiting from US as well, because they get like a visa-free stay, 3-month visa-free stay in Azerbaijan. So you don't need a visa there, and you can stay there for 3 months, so why not, right? So it's a great place for them to just like go for a vacation. And a lot of I've also noticed that a lot of US people, like you know, the Caucasians, have married the Azerbaijani girls, and you know, then they get to visit the place as well. So there's a lot of culture and heritage, lots of UNESCO World Heritage sites in Baku, and that is historically it's a very nice place to visit. Although it's a very small city, and there's not, if you would have really like, if you would compare it to other cities like Istanbul in Turkey, you would say like there's not much to see, but it is culturally very different from Istanbul. So if you are into different cultures and historic buildings and, you know, different cuisines, and you are into meeting new people and new cultures, then you should definitely visit Azerbaijan. The people are very hospitable, they're very friendly, they will guide you everywhere. And you have all these European high-end brands as well. You can buy anything you want. And security-wise, it's actually quite safe. So a girl can travel alone. She will not have a problem. Even at the airport, we never had any issues. So yeah, and so it's a nice and safe country to visit. With that note, I will let you go, and please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. So next week we will come up with another exciting country which I have visited already and I'll not tell you, and it is the one of the most touristy and the most like happening countries in the world, where tourists fly around from all over the world, and it's not because of the beaches or mountains, it is because of the history there. Now that is a hint, and I can't tell you more. I can just say one thing, that you can also take a cruise over there. So with that note, we will leave, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.
Right there on top of the moon, we could sit and do nothing. I wish we were bold to just fly away. I don't wanna care, just be here and I'm good alone. I'll be okay, miss you like an old friend. Too scared now, thinking I should call up all night. I think it's hard how we always wait another day, how we watch things like kids walk away.